NYSE.com podcasts.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of InvestorIdeas.com podcasts, looking at cannabis news, stocks to watch, as well as insights from thought leaders and experts. Today I'm looking at announcements from SLNG Worldwide Incorporated, trading on the CSE as SLNG. Also going to be looking at Cannabis Growth Corporation, trading on the TSX as Weed and the New York Stock Exchange as CGC. TER.C Corp, trading on the CSE as TER and the OTCQX as TRSSF. We're also going to be looking at MYM Nutraceuticals Incorporated, trading on the CSE as MYM and the OTC as MYMMF. And Curaleaf Holdings, trading on the CSE as CURA and the OTCQX as CURLF. So first, we're going to be looking at SLNG Worldwide Incorporated. Now, they're a leading global cannabis consumer packaged goods company with a robust portfolio of renowned brands distributed across 2,600 stores in 11 U.S. states. They announced the establishment of its new wellness-focused business division, SLNG Health and Wellness. The new business unit will develop and market a portfolio of plant-based cannabinoid products that will be distributed in partnership with Green Lane Holdings Incorporated, which trades on the NASDAQ as GNLN, through their extensive distribution network. Consumers are increasingly interested in natural plant-based wellness products, and we've only scratched the surface of the opportunity within cannabinoid-supported wellness, said SLNG CEO Peter Miller. Health and wellness represents a new market segment for SLNG and is a natural extension for our portfolio of top-selling products across the U.S. and internationally. We expect early sales to be supported by the brand awareness and customer loyalty that we've developed within our existing portfolio over many years of innovation and consumer focus. So, why is this important? Because SLNG is not the only one doing this. Almost all companies in the cannabis space right now are forming some form of wellness program, or at least looking into a partnership to create a wellness product, and SLNG is not the exception. They are part of the rule for this. So I found this just to be going in the trend of focusing on the health and wellness space. Like I said, many companies are focusing on that. You can look back at announcements over the last couple of months, and you'll see a pretty significant trend of these types of partnerships and agreements. So next, looking at Cannabis Growth Corporation, who announced it's acquired German-based Bionica SE, founded C Second Cannabinoid Compound Company, in a transformative deal that will see established single cannabinoid medicines brought together with the world's leading full-spectrum medical cannabis offering. This was an all-cash acquisition of €225.9 million, or 342.9 million Canadian, which further Cannabis Growth's expansion into European markets with prescription medicine and give the company immediate access to a wealth of knowledge and intellectual property that C-Squared has developed in its nearly 20 years of research and development into synthetic and natural cannabis medical products. So C2's primary medical offering is Driabenol, a pure chemical compound with standardized concentrations of THC, one of the active ingredients found in cannabis plants that's responsible for various pharmacological effects. Driabenol is available in Austria, Denmark, and Germany for nausea and vomiting refractory to conventional treatment in oncology and palliative care, and for cancer pain. In Germany, Driabenol can be prescribed for any type of chronic pain and for any condition in palliative care. The company has a total of 5 medicines in the market, and its commercial operations generated €27.1 million, or 41.5 million Canadian in 2018. So why is this important? I mean, this pretty much even explains in the press release that the acquisition will allow Cannabis Growth to further empower European physicians with the knowledge and therapies drawn from a full range of synthetic and naturally derived cannabis-based medicines. As well, Cannabis Growth is just expanding their reach into Europe, which they've been doing pretty consistently over the last months, and as well, Cannabis Growth, sort of a decent player in the cannabis space. You kind of have to mention their news if they come out with something. Next, looking at TER.C Corporation, who today announced that its manufacturing facility in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, has been issued a GMP certification in accordance with the rules governing medical products in the European Union. This EU GMP certification was awarded by the responsible agency, I'm not going to be able to say that correctly because my German is not existent, so please read that yourself. And in the North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany, the company has also entered into a comprehensive sales and distribution agreement with Uvo Therapeutics GmbH, a German pharmaceutical wholesaler, and the cannabis specific import and distribution license. So TER.C expects to begin distribution through Uvo this quarter. The great quote here of why this is really relevant. Just 5 months ago, TER.C became the first North American operator with scale operations in both Canada and the US. And upon commencement of shipments this quarter through our partner with UVO in Germany, TER.C will be the first and only global cannabis operator with sales in the three largest markets in the world, said Dr. Michael Nishat, CEO of TER.C. We will continue to expand our sales footprint going forward, and will share news of this milestone as we achieve them. So, again, they are the first company to get full sales distribution between Europe, US, and Canada. Those are the biggest markets right now, so the fact that they have a setup in each of those is definitely significant, and I'm sure, again, we're going to see soon enough they're not the only company in that space, but for right now, being out ahead of the market is definitely a good place to be for them. So next we're looking at MYM Nutraceuticals Incorporated, who announced that the company has acquired 50% of BioHemp Naturals, a licensed hemp cultivator in the business of cultivating and distributing CBD-rich hemp biomass to licensed producers in Canada. BioHemp co-founder Len Atkinson will join the MYM management team as Global Hemp Project Manager. BioHemp's founder has been growing hemp since 2015 and has developed unique harvesting methods and standardized operating procedures which meet all Health Canada's testing requirements for hemp biomass. Hemp is expanding its hemp operations to cultivate 450 acres in this 2019 season, with plans to expand to 3,000 acres of certified organic hemp by 2020. So again, why is this important? Because everyone is looking to get into the hemp sector of this space right now due to the Farm Bill in the US and because of the opening of the markets. So again, MYM is not the exception here. Again, they are the rule, following that everyone is trying to get into this area. So forecasted revenues based on the sales of biomass for 2018 grow season are expected to exceed 30 million, with 2020 grow season of 225 million. Acquiring 50% of BioHemp Naturals and engaging with Mr. Atkinson as MYM's global hemp project manager is a huge win for MYM and our stated goal to become global CBD-rich hemp cultivators, extractors, and distributors, said Howard Steinberg, CEO of MYM. The addition of BioHemp Naturals adds over 3,000 acres of cultivation to the company, which is expected to significantly increase future revenues of MYM. So again, this is a general trend that you're going to see as partnership agreements or acquisitions, depending on where the company's money sort of background is at. But at this point, you're going to see more and more cannabis companies leaning in towards the hemp space to gain some profits for now, while this is taking off and becoming a huge trend. And then lastly, we're going to look at Curaleaf Holdings Incorporated, trading on the CSE as CURA and the OTC as CURLF, a leading vertically integrated cannabis operator in the U.S. who unveiled its new Arizona initiative with the Veterans Cannabis Project, an organization that advocates for legal and supported access of medical cannabis for veterans to the Department of Veteran Affairs. Patients at Curaleaf's 5 Arizona locations can purchase a custom-designed Veterans Cannabis product, pre-rolled product, with a portion of all process benefiting the VCP. Each box includes 5 pre-rolls and will be available for $16. So why is this important? Veterans are concerned citizens all participate in the launch of this nationwide petition and grassroots campaign supporting medical cannabis. The campaign urges Congress to authorize access, provide protections, and requires research into medical cannabis. Additionally, it calls for the Department of Veteran Affairs to give veterans access to the cannabis they overwhelmingly want and deserve. And there's a link to the petition there. Again, why is this important? Because there's lots of cannabis companies working with veterans. It's a big part of their PR campaigns. It's also a big part of their community involvement, and it's become a very important element for any cannabis company to focus on how they can either be involved in the medical community or in the veteran community, and in this case, both. And I also just like that this is asking for a petition and asking for people to speak to their local Congress and government about changing some of these legislations to allow for more veteran access to medical cannabis. This is an important issue. If you're focusing on the cannabis space, this should be something you're aware of. And again, it's also just a good sort of element or authenticity to the cannabis space that they are helping these people and allowing for better access to the veterans community. So that's all for today's podcast, and I hope you guys have a great Thursday. Also, a big shout out to Queens of the Trade for mentioning the background music that was found distracting. We really appreciate the feedback. And again, if you guys have any other feedback from our listeners, we're trying to give you the best content and always appreciate anything we can do to provide you with the best content you want. So thank you very much for that, and have a great Thursday.
That's all for today's podcast. Podcast is now a certified word trademark on the blockchain through Cognate Incorporated CM certification. InvestorIdeas.com podcasts are also available on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play Music, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and TuneIn. If you'd like to be a guest or sponsor of this podcast, please contact InvestorIdeas.com. Investor Ideas reminds all listeners to read our disclaimers and disclosures on the InvestorIdeas.com website, and this podcast is not an endorsement to buy products or services or securities. Investors are reminded that all investments involve risk and possible loss of investment. Investor Ideas does not condone the use of cannabis except where permissible by law. Our site does not possess, distribute, or sell cannabis products.